And then Calvin also said this in the Institutes of the Christian Religion: whatever kind of life we lead, we are to direct our mind to this point, that God has set us in the place we occupy, in order that we may not wander about aimlessly, but, knowing our purpose, may direct our lives to the right end. So when you get there to PALS, or to KFC, or to your job as a lawyer, to your study as a pastor, to your desk at home to work on a Sunday school lesson if you teach Sunday school, to think about how to celebrate your anniversary if you're married, or how to do something kind and uplifting to your spouse if you're married, things you can do for your kids, with your kids, to help them, to instruct them, to encourage them. That is precious in God's sight. Don't ever let someone say to you, well, I knew that my life was meant for more than this. That is an unbiblical, Romish, medieval, anti-Christian way of thinking. The mother who gets their children to class at Kingsport Christian Academy on time, they're glorifying God by getting them there on time. The student who does their assignments well and on time, they're glorifying God as a student. The seminarian who's studying Greek and Hebrew as he makes his flashcards and wrestles with those languages, he is glorifying God in doing that. Don't ever let someone take away the sacredness of all of your callings and vocations, the sacredness of your non-ministry related work, by saying, well, I was meant for more than that. That's not a biblical way to think. We're told by the word of God to stay in the calling in which we were called, glorify the Lord in it. Whether you eat or drink, whatever you do, whatever kind of job you do, you're a trucker, you work in fast food, you're a mother, you're a father, you're a pastor, you're a plumber, whatever it is you do all for the glory of God. 1 Corinthians 10:31. Whatever you do, whatever calling you have, whatever your job and vocation is that serves your neighbor, know you are right where you're supposed to be. You're doing what the Lord wants you to do, and do it all for the glory of God, just like Joseph did for years and years. I shudder to think what kind of work he did in Potiphar's house. He was a Hebrew slave. He's probably cleaning where they went to the bathroom. He's probably cleaning up the grossest stuff, cleaning up after people, doing dirty stuff. And yet Potiphar knew the true God is with Joseph. When he was in prison, what was he doing in prison? Living with the corrupt and wicked people in Egypt. He had their respect too. Amazing. Whatever you do, whatever you're calling, do it for the glory of the Lord, and know that God is pleased with it. As Calvin said there, whatever it is you're doing, if it's a good job of service to your neighbor in any way, shape, or form, it is precious in the sight of God. And don't let anyone ever tell you otherwise. Housewives, and you diaper that child and you do a good job cleaning all of the number 1 and number 2 stuff off of them so they don't get a diaper rash, that is just as precious to God as me and my study writing sermons.